Misery really loves company if the company causes World War III instead of bringing love and peace. I mean, I think there's nuance to that quote. That is a quote that I wrote in a poem months ago. And I wrote it kind of in a fit of rage towards someone because at the time, what was roaming through my head was I came to you with good intentions, and you pushed it away. It was kind of like, why? Are you so used to toxicity that when someone is offering you love, you can't identify that? But months later, I've come to realize that that is in fact true. It can be hard to trust people when all they have is good intentions for you. Even from my own personal experience, I understand how hard it is. Even in recent events in my life, like I've met people and they have good intentions for me, but mentally I stay detached because I fear that either they're going to betray me or they're going to leave and it'll hurt. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'll get hurt again. And that's hard for me mentally because going back to the poem, the person I wrote the poem about in October, he did trigger quite a few wounds that I had within me. But those were already pre-existing wounds. These aren't wounds that he created. Like, these were wounds that already existed within me that he just triggered. But when people trigger you, that's only for your own growth and healing. So I'm not mad at this person. He didn't do what he did with the intention of triggering my childhood trauma. I don't know why he did what he did, and I have to sit with that, never knowing why he did what he did. All I know is that this person was struggling in their life, and that's no excuse. But I've been hurt, and I hurt people when I was hurt too, so I understand. Because that brings us back to the quote. Misery really loves company when the company causes World War III. When you're so desensitized to toxicity in your life, it can be hard to even fathom other people treating you with love and the respect that you are deserving of. And maybe consciously we don't tell ourselves that we're unworthy of real love and healthy love, but subconsciously, if that's all we've endured, that toxicity is, if that's all we've endured, subconsciously in a way we don't feel worthy of true love, healthy love, unconditional love. And I've kind of had to sit with that realization recently that I was living with so much shame. I have CPTSD, so I have really just, I want to say chronic guilt and shame. Anything I've done in the past, on some level, I hate myself. Every single thing Like, I was gifted and cursed with self-awareness. And we have our blind spots. Of course, I'm not self-aware about everything, and that's when other people come in. You know, you get that insight from other people, even if it's negative, about certain things that you probably need to work on, that I probably need to work on, right? So, with that, I struggle with immense guilt for anything I've done that may have impacted someone in a negative way. And you shouldn't live life like that. Of course, you should acknowledge your wrongs and be open to growing from them and learning from them, but you shouldn't live life in constant shame. And in a way, I was pushing away love as well. Real, true, unconditional love. I mean, even before I met that individual, like my ex-best friend, like, all she was offering to me was love, but I was so used to the toxic friendships, the dysfunctional friendships that I've always been in, competitive even as well, that some things that she would do or say, I took them in the wrong way. I took it in a way that I would take it had she been like some of the friends that I've had in the past. In a way, I was projecting my own childhood and early teenagehood onto her. And she didn't deserve that. She deserved, well, I did love her deeply, and I did mirror that love back to her. But I think she deserved that and not me pushing her away after a while, because to her, I was just pushing her away. To her, I was going through my own thing and choosing to be alone. And she was just in the dark for so long. While to me, I'm scared you're gonna betray me, so I'm gonna push you away before I get hurt. And I did more harm than good when I kept her in the dark for so long. I didn't realize I was keeping her in the dark. You know, it's never the intention, it's always the impact. Like, that wasn't my intention to hurt her or keep her in the dark and keep her questioning why, how, when did things shift between us. And I understand that. And I think when we reconnected for a brief time, I was still carrying so much guilt and shame that I ended up pushing her away again, but also out of fear once again. This time around, I was honest with her. Rather than the first time where I just stopped talking to her completely because I didn't want to hurt her, but I ended up doing more harm than good by not talking to her and just being honest about how I felt. Because maybe if I was honest, she would have, validated me. And I know she would have, because she also has BPD, so she understands somewhat. Because the BPD experience is different from everyone. It's a spectrum. I'm sensitive, y'all, so, I'm a whole crybaby. So give me a moment. Y'all are gonna see a lot of this on this channel. And my channel is gonna be unfiltered, uncensored, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. And if you're not comfortable with that, you're not going to be comfortable with my channel. The point is, when you're used to toxicity in a way, when someone is showing you love, you're so tense, you're so desensitized that you can't even identify unconditional love. And even more recently, I've met someone a couple months ago, and he's been nothing but patient with me. But I'm so scared that, like, one day he's just gonna leave or betray me or hurt me, whatever. That I do keep him at a distance, and I don't think you should be attaching yourself to anyone or anything. But I find it hard to feel connected to him at times. And I think that is a misalignment thing as well. But I don't like feeling like that. I like feeling, even with my ex-best friend, like we've reconnected as well. And I struggle with truly connecting and truly feeling safe and secure because I don't feel safe and secure. I don't feel stable with them. And we're back hours later. So, as I was saying, I don't feel that connected to the people in my life. And I hate feeling like I'm taking people for granted. But like I said, I feel like it's a misalignment thing as well. And all I know is that there are certain things that I need to focus on in my life. And, anyone that's distracting me or blocking me from that, I do believe that they should be removed. There should be a boundary between us. So it is a matter of spiritual alignment. It's not always a PPD thing for me. It is a matter of spiritual alignment. It's not always me pushing someone away out of fear. It's more of, I don't think we're aligned during this time of my life, and that's okay. And if we part ways, I hope we reconnect. But if we don't, that's fine as well. So there were times where I did push away unconditional love, but I think for me, when I struggle to discern if the people around me love me or if they are in my life for ulterior motives, the only being that I have to fall back on is God, my spirit team, all of that. But God, because God, the divine, offers that unconditional love to us. And we can choose to accept it or tune it out. And I think I spent quite a long time tuning it out. But it's like every day is like a divine experience for me. It's like every day God is speaking either through other people, either through situations. And I appreciate that incredibly. So I think misery does love company. if the company causes World War III, 100%. When the people around you, the people you keep in your company, they don't even have to be toxic. If they cause some type of chaos, if they distract you from your goals and your ambitions, sometimes we can be desensitized to that and give in to that rather than those stable, unconditional connections. Because most of the time, those connections that are distracting you and that are speedy, really, those are the conditional connections. And I mean, having unconditional love for self also includes watching who you keep in your company. You know, staying focused and disciplined on the seeds that you planted that lead you to your long-term success, not short-term, not the instant gratification that so many of us give into. I myself, I struggle with this all the time. And that's when the BPD does come in, because there are times where I make impulsive decisions. I reconnect with people I shouldn't reconnect with. And where I allow people in my life that probably shouldn't be around me. And I'm in that time of my life where I don't want to push people away, like I said. But I think there needs to be assessing, spring cleaning, people being eclipsed in and out of my life, and I have a say in that. I do. And some of the people around me, they don't, there's a boundary between us and they don't distract me. Like, I can tell that they love me or they care about me. And they're not gonna, or they don't have intentions of harming me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate them giving me my space and respecting my boundaries. So this isn't to say you should keep people around you that are misaligned or, aren't really aiding you to your success. They're blocking it, actually. There's nothing wrong with letting people go when they're blocking you. Because not all love is a healthy love. Not all love is tranquil. Sometimes love from someone can be World War III. So that's a very complex statement. And I no longer judge the person I wrote that poem about, because I do understand being so used to a way of living, a way of being, that you push away something that could actually aid in your growth, facilitate growth and change. We are dualistic beings, and everything in this world is dualistic in nature. So that quote, there's nuance to it. And it's incredibly complex. Because in summary, yeah, we can be desensitized to a certain kind of love that we reject. Real, true, unconditional love. But on the flip side of it, sometimes the love that we're rejecting is the love that brings chaos. And there's nothing wrong with pushing that away, I feel like. Especially if it's not benefiting you. Like, there are people I love dearly, and it breaks my heart that I can't be around them because they don't impact me good. Mentally, they don't really benefit me, they kind of distract me. There has to be boundaries up between them. And just finding someone that I feel aligned with is so hard for me that it does get lonely. And there are times, like I said, where I do allow all different types of people in my energy, and I keep them around me. Because maybe there's some part of me that's been desensitized to people who bring World War III into my life. Rather than that peace, that tranquility that the people who are truly for you will bring. So that's all I want to say.